Hi guys, so we are going to take what you learned on your brainstorming video and we're going to put it into actual text structures. That seems like a lot of different topics, right? Anywhere from riding the plane, catching a fish, to making a first lemonade stand. So where do I start? Well, I'm going to give you a couple different text structures that will help you, and then you get to decide which one fits with your topic. So we'll start with this one. This text structure is called the story of my thinking. These are going to be the prompts that guide you to making your paragraphs. What I used to think, but this happened, so now I think. So let's try it out. If I put in caught a fish, let's see if that works. Well, I used to think that catching a fish was gross and nasty and it was just the worst thing ever. But then this happened. I actually caught a fish, and me and my dad got to make memories and cook it together. So now I think fishing is the best thing in the whole world. Did that work as a text structure? Absolutely. So that might be the one that I choose to use. Let's look at another one and try it. A memory. Here are the main headings for where you are going to guide in your paragraph construction: where you were, the moment it started, the next moment, the final moment, and what you thought. Let's use another topic from the brainstorming web to try it out. Let's see, I went to the zoo. I remember that from the video that was made. Where were you? Well, we were at the zoo. Which moment did it become a really important memory to you? Well, maybe it was when you saw the lions roaring and jumping, and it was ingrained in your mind as something that was very exciting and new. The next moment, you continued on and saw the zebras. The final moment that made it memorable was when you were at the snake exhibit and all of a sudden the snakes were fighting. So all of a sudden I realized and thought the zoo is the best place in the whole world. So that is a memory that I want to write about. So as you can see, depending on what topic you choose, you can implement it on each of these text structures. All right, guys, it is our turn now. So I'm going to model with you, and then I want you to kind of give it a little bit of a try. When we first start getting our feet wet with these kind of text structures, of course, it's going to be a little bit bumpy, which is why I'm going to show you what you need to do. I'm going to do, and as I go through this, I'm going to show you step by step. So I'm going to do a vacation, which follows with a memory, because obviously it happened a long time ago and I can remember very vividly a lot of details on it. So my topic is going to be a vacation. I'm going to go here now and I'm going to think about where I was and when it started. Well, I went to Colorado. Have any of you been to Colorado before? OMG, it is awesome. Mountains, snow, all of it. It's amazing. So we went to Colorado. Specifically, I was in Breckenridge, which is a small little country town. The moment it started, well, let's see, we packed up in the middle of the night. Let's see, we drove 8 hours. So those are all details that I want to include in this first paragraph because I'm setting the scene for my favorite vacation. I don't want to just jump to me being on vacation in, the second I begin my story. I want to build a little bit of background knowledge for my reader. In that case, I'm telling you where I'm going and the process of how I got there. We packed up in the middle of the night. We drove 8 hours. Well, I want you to think, why might a family pack up in the middle of the night and drive 8 hours? Well, it's a long drive and they want the kids to be sleeping. So that might be a detail that I include in my rough draft as I start writing. Here, I'm just kind of putting the bullet points to narrow it down. And then let's see, we saw the mountains, and that's when I knew we were close. And if I run out of room, I can just always move this or add space. So now I'm going to go over here to the next moment. Okay. Obviously, the temperature got a little bit colder. So I'm going to add the temperature dropped. I shivered and knew we were in Colorado. Let's see. We unloaded into our cabin. Ooh, then we got our skis and our ski pass. If I spell something wrong, because I make mistakes just like y'all do, I'm just going to fix it. So we got our skis and our ski pass. Ooh, I remember we got uh, fitted for our shoes, which was hard because they're a pain to get on. So that was a big memory that I remembered because the person who was helping me put on my skis and my boots just was pushing, pushing, pushing. And I was like, it doesn't fit. And he's like, it has to be tight. That's why it has to be this way. So that is a very vivid moment in my vacation that I would want to point out. Then I would start another box for my final moment. My final moment would be I'm going down the ski lift and I'm feeling the wind in my face and I'm having the best time. So my final paragraph would be what I thought. I thought that skiing in Colorado with my family is the best vacation in the world. And then I would add why I feel that way. Not only am I getting to spend time with family, but I'm doing some kind of an exercise, I'm doing some kind of a sport. So I used my vacation to just put the highlights and the bullet points here. Notice how I didn't add a whole lot of adjectives, I didn't add a whole lot of details. I just wanted to get my thoughts down in a specific structure. So that's what I want you to try now. And I want to go over just a couple more examples of templates you can use. The next one would be maybe something you and your friends talk about. Maybe your topic is, a birthday party, you're going out to eat. Maybe you have conversations about doing that. Something you can do really well. Ooh, I remember from the list that she wrote a lot of things you can do really well. Maybe helping a person, maybe helping a teacher, maybe doing something like spending time with a brother or sister. Those are things you can do well. Remember, a narrative is something that you can really think back on and add a lot of details. So make sure your topic allows you to do that. All right, let's put it all together and let's make it your turn. All right, guys, so using this foldable, you need to determine the text structure that you will use for your rough draft. So think about the ones I went over with you. You can go back and look through them to determine the one that fits you best. The one that I decided to do was this one on my memory. So my flaps on the outside are going to have the sentence prompts in order to keep me going. So where you were in the moment it started needs to be in your introduction. That's your first paragraph. When I open this flap, that's where I'm going to put my thoughts on these two prompts. Then, as I was talking about my vacation to Breckenridge, this would be my first moment. This is where I would be talking about how it got colder and we stopped at the ski shop and I got fitted for skis and the boots. That's the first moment that sticks out to me on my trip to Colorado. Then my last moment that sticks out would be that last run we went down the mountainside and the wind was breezing and I was next to my sisters and we were just having the best time. So what I thought was Colorado was a great vacation spot. I also thought, I want to come back again. I also thought that being with my family is awesome. So notice how I just put my main things that came to my head when I thought of this sentence prompt. I didn't write full sentences. I didn't put a lot of adjectives and details. This is just my rough draft getting me started. When we go do the edit and revise portion, that's where we're going to talk about the cold wind and the bitter cold in the air. That's where I can put all the details that I want to put. So here is just your basic thoughts when you think of this sentence structure. Have fun.